Hello, I'm Slicker and welcome back to the video. So have you ever considered combining things and realized that, chocolate is really good and cheese is really good, and then realized that when you combine the two things, you get something kind of awful? Chocolate and cheese is something I do not recommend you try. And it's in a similar way, there are a lot of things that you do know that are bad just on the surface, like, actually, I don't think I should try, like, dumping all of my life savings into a pit of lava, but there are some things which you're combining and you're not too sure that you shouldn't combine them until you realize that you definitely shouldn't. And that's where today's video comes in, where I'm going to be teaching you lots of things in Minecraft that might seem like an okay idea on the surface, but are actually extra bad for reasons you don't even realize until you try them and you really mess up. So hopefully you'll enjoy this video. You can like it if you do like it because it helps out the channel, and let's know you do like the bad combinations we're going through in this video. But with that said, let's get straight into it, shall we? And let's start by talking about the very first one here, which has nothing to do with these pigs actually. I just have a huge farm of pigs here. It actually is to do with potions. So there are two types of potions in Minecraft which seem like they're opposites: the potion of slowness and the potion of swiftness. It really seems like, logically speaking, if you gave yourself swiftness and slowness at the same time, given that they're, fairly similar boosts, that you'd end up getting about to the normal speed in Minecraft, right? Well, that's not actually how that works. So let me show you what does happen, because if you tried both potions at the same time, you're going to see how you get this very weird speed effect, where you're going about 4% faster than normal, because if I show you right here, I think it's left, I've got speed and I've got slowness, but they don't show the exact percentages, but essentially it applies the 20% speed to you, and then it takes 15% of that away, which leaves you, again, it's like 3 or 4%, it's like 2.5%, which means that you go pretty much the normal speed in Minecraft, but very, very slightly off. Again, it might seem like it's a clever way just to get some bubbles on you. You look like a bubbly man, but you have no special abilities. But even if you ever thought like, oh yeah, I can just counteract this, slowness with swiftness, really, really, really do not recommend it. Because if you try sprinting around like this, you'll notice how everything just feels a little bit off. You may not be able to spot it in the gameplay. I'm not sure. Maybe you can and you're like, throwing up right now of it. But honestly, for me, the moment I first tried this, I started to feel a little bit sick, and I couldn't quite put my finger on why. It's a very subtle change, and it's one that you don't realize until you've drank both potions, and it will take you a full, what is it, like, I guess it's only 50 more seconds, but a full minute and a half at the very least to slow it down. So if you get slowness, don't add swiftness. If you get, swiftness and you don't want to be fast, don't add slowness, because honestly, the being almost close but not quite there is one of the worst feelings you can have in the world. It's the uncanny valley, if you will, of Minecraft potions, and you don't want that at all. So next up on the list of things that you shouldn't combine is sheep and forest biomes. This is just a really short one. It's one I realized very recently. I don't know when I had the eureka moment. I was just like thinking like in the shower or something, and I was like, wait, the reason why my sheep always get killed is because my sheep farm is in a forest biome. So here you can see I have two farms. I've got lots of pigs. Oh, I guess they are slightly relevant to the video. That's nice. But I've got lots of pigs here, and then I've got some sheep over here. The pigs are actually in the extreme hill biome. You can see by the floor where it suddenly shifts from being extreme hills into being a forest, or maybe it's a plains. But, the trees make it clear it's a forest, because when you have a forest biome, that's or a tiger biome, that is, of course, where, wolves can spawn. And if you've ever had the issue where your sheep are being continuously eaten by wolves, the big reason for this, I don't know why it took me so long to work it out, is because you have your sheep farm in a forest biome. So all I'd have to do in this case, if I wanted to ensure my sheep's safety, either you can cover the floor in half slabs, that's a pretty good pro tip, or anything else that like stops something from spawning there, but allows the sheep to eat there, which is, it's weird that there's so many blocks that work like that, but there are, trust me, it's a weird little thing about this game. But the other thing that you can actually do is you could just move it a few blocks to the left, or really move it across the map, whatever you have to do to get it in not a forest biome. Boom, no more get as far away as you can from a forest biome, by the way. Boom, that's the easiest way to stop your sheep being eaten. So yeah, bad tip is leaving your sheep in a forest, because if you have them there, then eventually, it doesn't matter over what time scale, a wolf will spawn and he'll ruin your day. So speaking of things that might ruin your day, I actually want to talk about soul sand a little bit, because soul sand and ice is a combination you might be familiar with from other Minecraft editions on Minecraft Bedrock, which we're recording on today, but even on those editions, it's really weird. Putting ice underneath your soul sand might seem like it's a really good idea, and there are some benefits to it, I'll give it that, but the truth is oh, that's very weird, but the truth is you don't want to do it, because on the Bedrock edition, it says, again, it's pretty much the exact same, but you can see there is some distinct difference. Again, it's very hard to actually spot it unless you're sprinting, in which case, again, I feel like you can just about see it here, right, where you're a bit more slippery on here, there's less grip, and again, it's just one of these very bizarre things where if you have soul sand, don't put ice underneath it unless you want to confuse people that little bit, but if you want to have it for yourself, there's no benefit on Bedrock for some reason, because the block, the blocks seem to be programmed differently, like the way, it detects whether you're on the ice or not, even though you're lower in the block. again, you can see I'm like technically on the same block above the ice because of the way it's like measured differently. Basically, you don't get the same effect, but you still get a micro effect. It's weird, the two effects don't combine good, and it's something you want to bear in mind. There's no proper use for that on the Bedrock version that I can tell of. Maybe I'm just doing everything horribly wrong, but that's the best I can tell right there. So next up, as far as things that you shouldn't be trying in Minecraft together, is actually going to involve my horse over here. My trusty steed, if you will. He's got a gold horse armor on from a previous video about how horse armor is new here. We're going to jump out of the hole. Is that even possible? I guess we have to dig a few more blocks to get out there. We're going to get... Oh, okay, I guess that lets the sheep out too. We're going to jump him out of the hole to show you how you really, really, really don't want to get a mob trapped in cobwebs. Because getting trapped in cobwebs, everyone knows it sucks, but getting a mob trapped in cobwebs is the worst thing. You literally... Here's me trying to jump on my horse. Look how ridiculous this looks. It's like... I mean, it's actually kind of amusing to look at. I'll give it that. But look at this. Seriously, like, this is... this is a thing that in Minecraft that is real. And you can't get out there by jumping. You have to just slowly walk out there. And given how slow some horses can walk, this can be a real tragedy. And along the same lines, but even a little bit worse. Again, this is so weird to look at in third person. But along the same lines, but maybe just a little bit worse, would be probably the fact that you can do the exact same problem with flying. So here you can see I activated my elytra while I was in cobwebs, and now my elytra is wasting durability. Like, look at that. Its durability slowly whittling down while I'm doing literally nothing besides being trapped in cobwebs. And because I'm in survival, oh, okay, oh, I accidentally did it right there. Because I'm in survival, you can see how it's very tricky to undo that. And even though I'm literally sat on the ground right here, it's just a really bad combination. So pro tip, don't do this or you'll look ridiculous. And you know, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever done in Minecraft survival. But you can do it if you want to. I'm going to get out there and I'm going to show you how, yeah, don't do that, basically. Pro tip. Also, if you just fly into one, like if I'm up there and I'm flying, like, oh yeah, it'd be really cool to fly into cobwebs, even though you can use, oh, okay, apparently I can't fly properly today. But even though it seems like it's a cool idea on the surface, the reality is it's not quite as cool as it seems. So let's go. There we go. Okay, oh. So, yeah, you can actually firework to get out of them fairly easily. So you can use it as like a starting point maybe to make, you know, acceleration faster. But if you want to be trapped in here, okay, oh, I guess no one wants to be trapped in here. It's a really, really bad thing. Look at that. This is my proof. And let's move on to the next bad set of combinations. Actually, I don't know how we're going to move on to them. Okay, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. Let's move on to the next bad combos in Minecraft, which is probably going to have to be lava anywhere near crafting tables. And this seems like a weird one on the surface, but you might think like lava will just burn your crafting table. But what's actually going to happen, so fun fact you might not know, is if you combine lava and crafting tables, okay, so you can see what it actually does is it actually just sets everything on fire. So just by having this here, the grass around lava seems to set on fire. And this is, again, this is different behavior to how Minecraft other editions work, where, again, generally speaking, if you have wood near fire, it'll burn. But no, the grass near lava seems to burn if you have enough lava there. Again, the conditions are really weird, but you saw how that started the moment I put the fire there, and if I take it away, no more fires will start. It's just one of these very weird things where lava in Minecraft should not be trusted near other blocks, especially not near semi-flammable ones. Because bear in mind, crafting tables, it's not that they're flammable, because they are flammable, they'll light on fire, but they'll never go down in fire, so they'll just go on and out randomly, and eventually you'll take some damage from it. And unless you want a flaming crafting table, which admittedly is kind of cool, don't do this. Unless you do want a flaming crafting table, in which case this is one of the best combos I've ever told you about. It's like chocolate and cheese if for some reason your favorite thing is chocolate flavored cheese. So let's move on to now the final couple of ones here, because there is obviously a pro tip with pistons. You might think really cleverly like, oh, if I place a pressure plate on the piston, then I'll jump on it and then it'll work. But for some reason, it does not work that way. You know, you can't actually place a pressure plate on a piston. As cool and interesting as that would be, it does not work on this edition. However, what you can do is you can place one next to the piston and it will launch any pressure plate you have on there way up into the sky. And for some reason, it always seems to launch it in the direction that you did place it. So you can see right here how it launches it that way. It's seemingly consistently. Let's see if that, yeah, that's true every single time here, right? As you can see, launching it up and it's going that way as long as I'm not near the direction. So yeah, you can actually decide which way a piston will launch something if you... Okay, I thought it was consistent because I placed this one that way, but only 3 times out of 4. But it's a really weird thing that you can do with pistons, both sticky and non-sticky, if you want to launch stuff in a certain direction. So you can use this as a randomness generator too, I feel like, and maybe that's some use. But as far as like, is it a cool thing you can do to like stand on the yeah, like you could sit here standing the moment over again. Does not work that way. As interesting that would be. And I know that's a very weird one, but I wanted to try it and I found out you shouldn't, so I put it down on my list like a year ago, and now you know that that's a thing you shouldn't do. So the final thing in Minecraft, one of the things that kind of inspired me here is like a funny like, oh yeah, these things both sound like they're good on the surface, like chocolate and cheese perhaps, or like, you know, Toy Cat videos and what do we, I don't know, popcorn or something, but it's actually not quite so great. So basically, I'm going to go into creative for this one because we are going to spawn the wither. And yes, pro tip, before spawning the wither, back up your world or you're gonna have issues basically. But what we want to do is we want to set ourselves to creative, which is over here actually for some reason, I lost that one. We're going to set ourselves to creative, we're going to spawn in the wither, and I'm going to show you one of the pro tips in Minecraft that... apparently the skull just stays there, which is that if you have a wither, that you do not want to use splash potions of harming. It's funny, at Christmas, I have a cousin who's maybe like 7, who's like crazy into Minecraft or something, and he's like, oh, yeah, I know everything about Minecraft, look how easy I can kill the wither. And of course, because he's 7, he's like, oh, it's really impressive that I can kill him using potions. But he tried to do it using the harming potions, and that was my favorite thing in the world, just be like, why isn't it working? Because if you want to kill the wither, you gotta use healing potions, because he's undead, which means healing makes him die and harming makes him live. It's confusing, okay, let's just not question it. So yeah, everything else dies of harming, as you can see right here, but the wither does not. He's going to be healed up by it, and to show you that it does heal and not just, in fact, do a little bit, let me do some damage to him, and then I'll heal him up just like that. So as you can see, that's how you heal up the wither, which might be useful in some ways, but most of the time it's going to be a lesson you learn the hard way when your pig farm gets destroyed bit by bit. Oh, he's just chasing the one sheep. You know, that's kind of mean. Okay, so pro tip, don't keep any withers near your sheep farm either, or they might die to that too. So I hope you did enjoy this video. Like it if you did like it, because that helps out the channel a lot. Listener, you do like these sorts of videos. I'm just going to get away from that, pretend that doesn't exist. Share if you really likes it, and subscribe if you're new around here, because I make videos like this one every single day on my channel, and if you subscribe, you'll see them daily on your homepage. Thank you very much for watching this one, and I guess I'll see you all in, another one. So, thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.